Let's start by asking Marko, how was the sound check, buddy?
It was on time. That's the perfect thing to say.
We were trying, yeah.
Yeah, it was on time and everything went perfect. So thank you, Daniel, for everything, for arranging things, organizing, and be such a great host. And thank you for coming.
It's actually a big round of applause also for the Palác Akropolis crew. Those guys did miracles. They were fully ready. Palác Akropolis, thank you. We're having this interview not to only talk about great music, but also to talk about current events in Serbia. Many of the protests and gatherings, not only around the world, started happening because of the tragedy which happened in Novi Sad on the 1st of November 2024. However, Marko has a lot of experience also with joining protests before that period. So if we can give a sort of like a broader context about sort of like a number of years of protests, when did it happen from your perspective?
Well, first of all, I will try to speak through an angle on someone who's an actor and a musician. So basically, we're protesting from 2014. So it was like in 2012, this regime got elections. So right after that, we realized there's so much corruption and a lot of other stuff is happening. So basically, it's 11 years that a lot of different protests happened. The last one is, of course, because of the tragedy on a railway station on the 11th of November. 1st of November, and now it's going to be a year since that tragedy. So before that, it was because of the Rio Tinto and the mining of lithium. Before that, it was also happened a huge tragedy. There was a school shooting in Belgrade. So basically everything that happens somehow is connected to the government, and we all see that. But in the media, that's like important to say. There's like a media blackout, censorship, huge censorship, and they're buying all the media and destroying someone who is independent. So it's really hard for like normal people who don't live in the huge city, who just got like one television on the countryside. It's really hard for them to see what's really happening.
So talking about that one media source, RTS, Radio Televizija Srbije, you actually did one brave moment towards the end of 2021 when there were those protests against Rio Tinto. You motivated people to join the protest.
Marko, Nedime, mnogo vam hvala što ste bili sa nama ovoga jutra. Gledamo vas i u subotu u 3. epizodi.
Da, možete da nas gledate u subotu u 14 časova, gde nismo samo Nedim i ja, mi smo u stvari samo građani u toj ulozi i neće biti 20 ljudi, bit će mnogo više.
What was the afterwards? Some revenge of the regime that you felt?
In Serbia, it's not that kind of a radical consequences when you feel it right on your skin. It's a little bit subtle. I was doing a lot of movies and TV series in Serbia, but basically now the main public service holds all the money for the TV series, so they decide who's gonna act, who's not. So yeah, I haven't done anything basically 2 or 3 years in Serbia. So that's like the main example how it works. On that morning show, she didn't know about that, so I was promoting their TV series that's happening on the main service, and she didn't know that. She was ending the show. Thank you for coming. You're so sweet. I'm like, yeah, thank you. And she asked me like, where can we see you in some projects else? So I was like, oh yeah, you can see me as a citizen tomorrow on the streets, and I'm inviting everyone to join like citizens of this country. She was like, oh fucking God.
Tako da pozivamo sve građane na proteste, na sve mostove Beograda i u širom 50 gradova u Srbiji.
Hvala vam što ste bili gosti jutarnjeg programa. Marko Grabež i Nedim Nezirović bili su gosti jutarnjeg programa.
I just went home and I was like with my friend, like, this is our mini victory, you know, let's have a coffee and go home. And then the telephone just started insanely, you know, notifications and everything, and I was like, what the hell is happening?
You mentioned a bunch of projects, like you're not able to do fully what you want as an actor. However, still, let's say the Operation Saber.
Ako neko misli da će zaustaviti sprovođenje zakona time što će mene ukloniti, onda se grdno vara, jer nisam ja sistem. Sistem će funkcionisati i dalje.
Covering the legacy of pro-Western executed Prime Minister Đinđić. It was played here on HBO. Also The Absolute 100, which has pretty good score on the ČSFD, our IMDb platform. It has very good score, and it actually got into Karlovy Vary.
Yeah, this year. Yeah, so it was like a huge success for our project. The premiere was at Karlovy Vary, and it never premiered in Serbia. So people basically never saw the show in Serbia because we shot it in 2022, and they just finished the project, took the project, and just put it under the bed, you know. And that's like a paradox. They pay for it, and then they realize it's better not to show. You know, it's completely bizarre.
Right.
But at Karlovy Vary, it was amazing. People stayed. It's a mini series. There's like 6 episodes, and there was just only one pause of 15 minutes between third episode and fourth, and people stay all the time. You know, they didn't leave the hall. So it was really cool.
During the 16 minutes of silence, I will be playing a number of photos from the recent protests covering past couple of weeks. When we spoke for Čete Art, you were also talking about you guys playing at high schools, and also a number of stories of how, let's say, a system is having some revenge on professors, and there are a couple of, you know, mistreatments. So if you can give us some idea about how you felt during those past couple of weeks during the protests, high schools, and some stories of some mistreated professors.
Well, somehow it was really, I mean, it's personal for me because the key points were high school where I finished high school in 5th Belgrade Gymnasia, and right after Faculty of Dramatic Arts where I graduated acting. The first day of a student protests and blockades of the faculties were that day when we got on the street to block 16 minutes to make 16 minutes of silence, and that was the first day we just, you know, want to, you know, pay the tribute to them, and then they sent I don't know how to call them, but political bots. They can do everything, you know. They can beat you on the street. They can pregaziti,
okay, go over you by car, hit you with the car.
It becomes radical now.
How does this all reflect into music of KOIKOI?
Really good. This is nothing new or unique in Serbia. We all suffer crisis now, especially, you know, people in Ukraine, people in Gaza, unfortunately. So yeah, that's like this is all minority in you know, when we compare to that terrible things that are happening right now. yeah, we have a problem, but there's much bigger problems in the world. There's not too many bright things to do, but yeah, art is basically something that is brighter. You don't calculate. When something important is happening, you're right. You're like, okay, this must be real. So I'm gonna do it real, or I won't do it. That was one of my favorite gigs in Belgrade. I was playing in the backyard of my high school, so I saw a lot of my teachers. So it was like emotionally really, and right after. So yeah, I also have to say that the most important venue, cultural. It got tradition during the 70s and the new wave that happens in Yugoslavia that affects all of us. Yugoslavian rock and roll, thing happens in that student cultural center in Belgrade. So it was like the main venue for my father, for me, for everyone. And they just took it and closed it. It didn't work for like 20 years, 15 years. And students last year in March, this year in March, they squatted, they opened it. It was the things that were happening there were amazing. And we had a last concert there after that police came in and took it again. I think that's the fight that we can do, We can take over a cultural center and squat it. It's like, something that belongs to us. We also had a strike in our theater.
Nice.
So theaters in Belgrade were united for like 10 days. It was like general strike. So that's why a lot of us are blacklisted. We're doing what we can do. So
nice. Thank you for sharing that memory about Srce, because I also have some great memories going to Srce around 2002. And the author, the photographer Marko Grabež, who provided a picture for the cover poster of this event today, was taking some great pictures of that concert, so please check them out. And talking about some positive moments, you guys supported Fountains DC, one of your most favorite bands, and also you guys are slowly but surely releasing some new singles. So please, your memories on that show, big event, and something about the new album.
Album is coming in November, and I always wonder why do they talk about the sickness of a second or a third album, or illness of a third. They're talking about that. It's like some kind of a motive that going through bands. They're like, oh, be aware of the second album. It's gonna be a nightmare. And I was like, why? I mean, it went so easy. We got into studio, had some really great ideas, had an amazing producer, And so we recorded everything in like seven days, and we were like, okay, now we got into mixing stage and it's over, and like half a year later, I'm in the studio. Maybe we should change this a little bit, or maybe it's not. It has to stop sometimes, you know, because it's a never-ending thing, you know, mixing your album, and it's never perfect, and you need that kind of perfection. We had an amazing music video, so
Big crew,
huge crew, and we shot with that. Maybe you know about that holding camera. It's a robot camera robotics, so it's like. It's a huge robot, and on the top there's a camera.
Okay.
So you basically mapping every scene, and put dots on spots like markers where you go. So there's no one holding a camera. So robot is doing on their own the whole video. So it's like a theater, and you just really need to know where to stand, because if there's like a 5-tone. Oh, robot, if he hits you, it's over, you're done. You know, it's a millimeters thing. So shooting with that thing, it was really weird and interesting, but it was scary, you know, when you seeing that gigantic thing moving around you. But that effect was this example is in Severance. If you watch Severance series, there's like one scene where he's running and he's going around him. Yeah. I don't know where should I finish my sentence. Sorry, guys. But yeah, popit ću pivo, tako je, bravo.
Nice. So to light up the moment, I have something here for you to share some memories, because when we did a short interview for Full Moon, there was an album that you were so proud that you have something that nobody in the family likes. And you have finally something for you.
Oh my God.
Tell me, how did you feel when you bought this album?
Yeah, this is, oh wow. Linkin Park was my, this is what was my first autonomy in the family taste of music. When you're young, you're listening what your sister listens to, so or your father or mother sound like, yeah, she's my older sister. She likes Nirvana. I like Nirvana. She likes, you know, whatever. That's my taste. So the first emancipation, you know, in the autonomy was Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park. I was 7 or 8 years old, and yeah, I just wow, I didn't saw it for a long time. It's really cool. Thank you. It's this. Thank you.
Yeah, I have great memories for this. This is signed by Mike Shinoda. We interviewed it with my crew for TV Saznam a couple of years ago.
Okay.
They did a great show now at Rock for People Festival. So to finish this great chat, please something in maybe even positive way, how you see the possible outcomes in the future in Serbia, because when I'm talking to the journalists, it's hard to say, hard to predict, challenging times, but even the students are very often talking about the fact that something is happening, people are still continuing the protests. They might not see the end of the light tunnel, but it's progressing, and especially on the 1st of November this year, there will be a great, huge gathering in Novi Sad.
Massive protest, yeah.
So something positive, possibly positive from the end of our chat?
Something positive, my grandmother was from Czechoslovakia, so from Austro-Hungary basically. So yeah, I'll find papers to move here.
Let's welcome Marko into our group.
Yeah. Yeah. Her name was how do you say it's a longer A, Magdalena Čermak, right? Čermakova. Okay, so yeah. So I feel like really strong connection to Czech Republic because of a lot of stuff. My father also worked here as a journalist during 2000s in Radio Free Europe. So yeah, there's strong connections, and I'm always happy to come to Prague. Brno, I was joking. We are all optimistic about protests because we saw each other, and there's a lot of us. And I think that's most important thing. So media informations and media situation is not valid or objective, and we know that. We saw each other on the streets. There was like so much of us, thousands and thousands and thousands of us. So yeah, I think we all wait for that 1st of November. We don't expect something to radically change like a 5th October or 6th, which never happened during Milosevic regime. But yeah, things are going forward definitely, and we are here just to do our own thing. So tonight we're gonna play for students, we're gonna play for you guys, and see you at the concerts. And thank you all for coming here.
Thank you. Bravo. Hvala.